Okay, I've never done anything like this before, but I thought this would be a more interesting way to tell you about the moment I became me. So, I've never actually talked to anybody about this before, so this should be interesting, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. Okay, so I became me when I was 16 years old. All my life I'd been like the weird girl, the one who was sort of on the outside because she was a little bit odd, and I'd gone through, oh my gosh, like 25 friendship groups. Nobody understood me, it was just boring. And then eventually I found a friendship group that was a little bit gothic, a little bit alt, and I decided that was the one, that was my group, because everybody was proud to be who they were, and everybody was, just, they were their own person, and it was fun, being with people who didn't mind me being myself. But even then, I wasn't completely the same as them, and that was always kind of difficult. But I ended up getting this boyfriend who all of my friends fancied. He was like the epitome of goth. He had the hair all over and the terrible music taste and the hoodies. It was just horrendous. But he was a bad influence on me. He was really depressed, and it was starting to rub off on me, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be happy, and eventually I decided to break up with him because I didn't want to feel the way that he did. And that didn't go down very well with my friends, clearly, because they fancied him and they thought I was really selfish for doing that. And that came down really hard on me because everybody was really mad at me for a decision that I needed to make for myself. And eventually they stopped being friends with me for that reason, and that was really hurtful. I'd been through a lot with these friends, and I felt like they betrayed me. And then it only got worse when one of them started dating him and didn't even talk to me about it. I had to find out from somebody else, and that was really, really tough on me. So I lost all my friends, I lost my boyfriend, and that actually became my first ever experience of depression. This, in total, went on for about 4 months, I'd say, this whole thing. I spent all my time alone in my bedroom, crying with the lights off. Like, it was just the epitome of teenage angst, but it was really difficult for me. I didn't really spend much time with my parents, and they sort of gave up trying to talk to me because I was a mute. I was just far too depressed to even converse with anybody. It was horrendous, to be honest. And they kept asking if I needed to see a doctor, if I was anorexic, if I was, if I was okay, just basically all the time. And I saw that as them hounding me, and that made me resent them, as a 16-year-old girl would assume. So then I left that friendship group who started being horrible to me, found some new friends, but even, with these wonderful girls around me, I never talked about the way I was feeling, and they spent a really long time trying to pull me out of everything. And then one day I texted the ex-boyfriend and said, through my insecurity, that I missed him and that I wanted to be with him again, and that I was really jealous of my friend, which wasn't true, but that depression was making me feel like I needed things to be back to the way they were to be happy, but that wasn't the case at all. But I had no idea at that point. And then this is the point that changed me. I said to him that I missed him, and he said to me that he was with this new girl now, and I was not to say things like that. But he also said that nobody liked me, I was a waste of space, and I should know by now that nobody cares about me, and I should just give up. That was a really nasty thing to hear. All my life I've been bullied. I mean, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I've been bullied a lot, but nothing that nasty had ever been said to me before, and it hurt. Like, it really hurt. And a few things went through my mind at once when he sent this text, and the most important one was, how would you know? And it wasn't like, you don't know other people's feelings, how can you say something like that? It was genuinely just, you haven't seen me, you haven't seen my friends or my family, how would you know that nobody cared about me? And the answer was he didn't. He had no idea, like, how people were feeling about me. And it sort of hit me really hard then that no matter what I did or what I said, there was always going to be a person who would make things up just to make me feel small. And that had been happening all my life. It just hit me in that one moment. And I realised that I just needed to do what made me happy. And that, you know, that would be the only thing that was important. And that was when I became me. That was when I realised that, you know, I'm always going to be the odd one out, and that's okay. You know, I've never been arty enough for the, you know, for the creative kids. I've never been sporty enough for the tomboys. I've never been depressed enough for the goth kids. I've never quite fit in, but there's nothing wrong with that. And that was when I realised that no matter what I did, it was my happiness and my life that came first. So I got out of bed and I got on MSN at the time, and I apologised to every single one of my friends for my behaviours for the past 4 months, because they've been trying so hard to help me and I just completely blocked them out. And it was a terrible thing for me to do. And I went into school the next day, and instead of having my headphones in, blocking out the entire world, I was laughing for the first time in months. I was having conversations with people, I was taking part in class, I was caring about my work. And my friends genuinely approached me and said, "Are you okay? Because you haven't been like this in so long. Like, are you alright?" And I was like, "Yeah, well, finally, I am alright. And I'm so grateful that you guys never left me." And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that they knew who I was before I did. And they believed in me until I found out. And then that weekend, I went out with my best friend, who is still my best friend now. She is the most incredible person I've ever known. And we did what we always used to do before I got depressed. We used to go into town in the afternoon and literally did fuck all. We did nothing all day. We just talked and listened to music and walked around the town doing absolutely nothing. And then I just had this weird thought, let's go to the goth shop, which is this shop like on the edge of like the outskirts of town. And we went in there, and this could be fate, it could be a coincidence, who gives a shit. The fact of the matter is, I found this. I'm not sure if you can see that. And it's a little badge that says "I Heart Life" that cost me 50p. And when I saw it, I knew that that badge was like what I needed to remind myself of this moment. So every single day for at least 6 months, until I started sixth form, I wore this badge. No matter what I was wearing, no matter where I was going, this badge was on me. And I remembered that I was above the people who put me down, because I knew who I was. I became me. I became the person who is proud to be a little bit quirky and who knows that life is actually a really incredible thing. And, you know, I mean, I may not be that person right now, but I say that the real me is still fighting to come out, and I'm still one day going to be the person who loves life forever. And I'm never going to forget the moment that I became me, and I decided that I love life. So I hope this helps. I don't know, but good luck with your dissertation, and hopefully, you know, maybe I taught you something, maybe you can teach me something, I don't know, but I'll see you soon.